Very good to have you. Um, I'm just getting home and getting things in order, so I welcome you for a Friday morning. What's left of Friday morning, we're going to take this to Friday afternoon. It's 11:38 a.m. We're going to take this to 12 noon, and then it will be Friday afternoon, and that is when I will say goodbye and go put together the show for tonight. Because I have not done a lick of work yet, and I have plenty on my plate. Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. Howdy, Zoe. I hope your shoulder is well. Hello, good morning. Howdy, Sonny. Howdy, how are you? We're going. Whoa. Okay. With this thing, I sometimes don't know which is the open end, and one time I almost started pouring it on the bottom. Oh, look at there, King 40. It's good to see my buddy Santino with me here today too. And from NorCal to the Waz, I love them. Good morning. Oh, what's going on? R.J. Williams is in there. That's who Robert is. I'm in need of my daily cognition, my cognitive boost. I'm going to need it a lot today. Not only for the brain power that I got to employ in a little bit, but also just a general boost in overall wellness. Feeling good. Want to feel good. Want to feel energetic today. And I just got back from a funeral. And that one, these are one of those funerals that sting. And I will probably, most definitely, be taking time to memorialize my friend Joe tonight, because we're talking about a well of memories. A well of memories. And I just want to talk about him. I just want to immortalize him on my show. Because whereas we lost track of each other in recent years, just really realized how significant so many of these friendships were over the years. And, you get to think about that a lot. It's always rough. But now that I'm home, and I'm essentially been to Mass, and I don't know, I feel there's a certain sense of relief after a funeral, even if you're the one burying somebody. But of course, some deaths are just worse than others, and that it takes a lot longer to get over. You can rationalize when grandparents go, when great-grandparents go, but when you watch parents bury children, jeez Louise, man. So I'm sorry to dump on you like this morning, but I promised you a coffee stream, and this is what's on my mind right now as we head into the afternoon. But I don't know. Who knows what this turns into? There's been several episodes over the years where, I've said goodbye to friends and whatever, and it's turned into some really incredible conversation. We'll definitely have a fun time tonight. I want to watch some reels. I have a lot of information that I'm scooting around for the new week, for next week, which will be really good, including Scott Shara. He's going to be on first on Monday. And a whole bunch more. It'll be good. But now it's just time to get back into the zone. By the way, what What the hell was I just going to ask you guys? I forget. I'm going to get into the chat room for a little bit. Sorry for your loss. Yeah. It's one of those things. Just wait until your 60s. Skin loses its springiness, says John. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, you know what? This has very, very good collagen-like properties here, especially for the brain. You want to talk about brain elasticity? Every day. Every day. Whatever the hell you want to put it in, your yogurt, whatever the hell it is. Let me know if you want to try some keto brains. Molly's coming on the show very soon, actually, to talk about, just the last thing on this before I just start doing Q&A and chatting with you guys. But I asked Molly about like the price points on here because it's like $50 a bag. Of course, you get 20% off with the Frankly code. But I asked her about the price points because of all the stuff that's in here. I know that if you go for lion's mane, if you got yourself a lion's mane supplement, an alpha GPC supplement, an L-theanine supplement, MCT oil, if you went and you got these things individually, you're paying way more than $100. So I asked her what the hell is going on with that, and she says honestly, the keto brains they keep it low because they have other things that they're doing with what we talked about last night with Jay Gulanello a little bit. I wanted to learn more about this bioregulators, these things called bioregulators and peptides. I want to know more about that because that's really where Keto Brains makes their money, because they're definitely not making it on this. This is just a high quality supplement that they're keeping low so people can get in on it. Because I just had to ask her. I said, all these things, all these supplements on their own, this all tallies up to way over $100. So now we got a little bit more clarity on that. Anyway, let's get into your super chats. Okay, my mushrooms are $50 a bag also. What a coincidence. Oh, those mushrooms? Thank you, Daryl. Thank you. This is the shirt I picked for, this collar's puffed up a little bit, but this is the shirt I picked for today. You will not be seeing me in it later on tonight, because after I put this show together, I'd like to go get a workout in, because I did not work out yesterday. My wife is all about peptides. She puts it in her morning coffee, though I want to try Keto Brains with her. RJ, just let me know. I'll send you samples, and if you like it, I'll send you a bag. I don't care. That's why I've been spending so much money getting people these things, because I know it will become a part of their medicine cabinet. Let's see. Thank you, V. Thank you. I will talk about my friend Joe a little bit tonight, because I have so many memories. Realize how close you were to a person in very formative years. When's my first, me, my buddy KJ, and Joe. That was the first time I ever went to a dance club, like a nightclub, in New Rochelle, New York. We were way underage, but we knew the bouncer. Joe said, I know the bouncer. Let's go. So we got dropped off by his mom. And we were essentially ignored by the bouncer. Well, great. But I remember we got home late that night. I'll never forget this. Late that night, I'll say it again tonight. Getting home late from that first night out at the nightclub. It was a bubble party. What the hell was it called, a bubble party or something like that? Foam party. Either way, they just had these bubble machines constantly. You get like dancing almost like a bouncy castle, but the bubble machines are going all over the place. By the end of the night, you're just sloshing around and shit. Anyway, we went back to his house. We got back there around 2, 3 in the morning or something. And everybody's passing out in his living room. What does he put on to go to sleep? And I realized that this is one of his go-tos. That movie, Coyote Ugly. I think the first time I ever watched Coyote Ugly all the way through was So why do you want Coyote Ugly? I mean, it's around the time. It's just like this is when Fast and Furious ruled the world as well. I got these random memories coming back to me. Random memories. The first time I ever heard the chorus for Metallica's Master of Puppets was Joe. It was in like 4th or 5th grade. It's before I actually ever listened to Metallica. But he just kept saying, Master of Puppets is pulling your strings over and over again. And like singing just that one line with terrible timing. So I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And a couple of years later I would when I found Metallica. Oh, there's so many things. We will talk about it. All right. Well, what's going on, Peter? Good to see you. Good to see you. Algorithm, says James. Well, that doesn't do much in a chat room. The comments, yes. In the comments is really the algorithm tickler. But what do you guys want to talk about tonight? What do you guys want to talk about tonight? Because I've got a couple of funny things to do. I don't know if Matt is going to be around because he's getting a tattoo covered up. He said that George Washington is becoming the Four Horsemen. I said, oh, all right, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know where that goes. But I've got some fun stuff written down. I got some weird news, some odd news, time for calls. It's Friday, and remember, tomorrow night, Saturday night, I've got the Saturday night special with my father and my cousin Jeff coming in again. That'll be all summertime, Beach Boys, you know. Gotta talk about Brian Wilson. Summertime memories. 4th of July, the Beach Boys. You know, things like that. So I got that covered. You think we'll make it to the front page of Rumble this weekend? What do you think? Oh, cheers to you guys. Cheers to you. Summertime Follies. That's an interesting one, Bogus. Summertime Follies. Christian, thank you. I clean up well when it's time to go to a wedding or a funeral. I hope I get more emails from people in the chat room that are getting married, that are having children. I need more news like that. The news has not been very happy lately, but that's why that's what I'm hoping for. Weddings and babies. Weddings and babies, everybody. Weddings and babies. That's what I want to hear about. And tonight, I'll try to keep it as light as possible. June 20th. It's the first day of summer, no? So, and it's a gorgeous day, too. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Happy solstice. The longest day of the year. We get a minute shaved off the top every day onward. This is like the pinnacle. This, it arches into, like it arcs, I should say. It arcs into 4th of July. And then, I mean, it's still hot and summery after July 4th, but I always feel like that was like the climax of the summer. You got to make your own holidays after that. From first day of summer, sun going down at 9 o'clock, to 4th of July, You got to make your own holidays after that. Dad used to say it's all downhill from here. I know. I know. Thank you, Katie. Very nice of you to say. I love that it stays light until 9:30 this time of year in Oregon. That's nice. That's nice. We'll get 9. I'll drive home tonight from the studio and it'll still be that gloom, that blue hour. So, Freight Train, what did you think about Tim Gordon's spot on Timcast? Uh, what, a new one? Or are you talking about the one that he did with Jay Dyer? Let me see that. Did this happen on something else? Timcast? When are you talking about this spot with Jay Dyer and the Protestant, or did something else happen that I didn't know about? Something new happened? I didn't know. And Tim and I text often. I didn't even know about that. Rev, yeah, you're right about that. It is one of those things, and mortality is always on the mind with me. So so yeah, felt very bad for his wife and everything. So he did a stream. He did a stream on him. Oh, he did a stream on him being on Timcast. I saw Tim stream about that. I just thought it was a retrospective on the Catholic Protestant Orthodox debate. But I didn't. But I don't know. I'm not really getting a clear answer about whether or not he did another stream on top of that. So, so there you. There's where my confusion is. All right. So I saw somebody had a suggestion in the chat room about summertime follies. That would be a good topic for tonight. What else? What else would you guys like to talk about? Anything in particular? We did a lot of stuff last night. Some of it was. Isn't it funny how Juneteenth lost so much attention so quickly? It was. It. It's just incredible. You want to talk about things that need and and just a crazy amount of resources just to remain even semi-relevant. Even semi-relevant. When you stop putting the entire might of the government and this corporate apparatus behind things like Juneteenth and Pride, it just you lose complete track of it. It fades away back into the obscurity from whence it came, and that's it. And that's it. It just nothing behind it. Nothing. In fact, last night I reshared that 2021 talk I had with Brian McClanahan about Juneteenth and just the absurdity of the data surrounding what is obviously a very political holiday, and an ongoing this ongoing effort to build up a parallel holiday season, a parallel calendar that has a opponent and an opposing, counterbalance to everything that was traditionally American, traditional Christian holidays, all that other stuff, everything. There is a great. You want to talk about great replacement? There is the normal traditional holiday, the calendar of events, 12 months that we used to have 50 years ago. And then you have this new one that is showing up parallel to it. And as new things go there, Juneteenth is supposed to compete with the 4th of July because, of course, 4th of July is about independence. And they're trying to say that there was no independence in reality because slavery was still an issue. And then you talk about things like Pride, and you talk about these are things that replace all of the year-end holidays. And there's mantras, there's prayers, there's award shows. They have everything. They have everything they need, and they present it as, oh, it's not a replacement. It's just another side of the story. Then slowly, it's just like Indiana Jones with the golden idol in Raiders of the Lost Ark, just trying to replace the golden idol with a bag of sand. That's what's happening. And fortunately for us, it doesn't take a lot of pushback for it all to just poof, poof. Happy Kwanzaa, poof. What? So there's that. Let's see here. This week, to me, there is no Juneteenth. I think Jay Dyer always destroys Roman Catholic and Protestants in debates. He's definitely a better debater than most of the people he talks to, for sure. He's a better debater. But I have questions, and I'm bringing Jay and Tim on to ask specific questions about reconciliation between Catholic and Orthodox churches after the schism. And also I want to ask specific questions about validity of sacraments and about the Nicene and Apostles' Creed, and specific questions about what qualifies as disqualification for salvation. So I have very specific questions on that. Theological debates has become a little bit of a spectator sport, and I'm interested in it, but I don't get really. It doesn't really I don't get as heated or everybody. It's almost like watching a sport, it's Yankees versus Red Sox or something like that, depending on who's getting together. It's a Christian versus a Muslim, or it's, different Christian denominations going against each other, or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't really move the needle for me, personally, but I do have questions. More questions between relationships of Catholics and Orthodox, because I think that was the funniest thing about about Tim and Jay sitting down with Tim Pool and the Protestant guy. The funniest thing about that was it just was this two older brothers. It just seemed like Tim and Jay had this two older brothers with dynamic versus the Protestant. And I'm sorry, I know we have a lot of Protestants, non-denominational, Lauren's non-denominational. So we have an interfaith marriage. So it's like I say, as long as I think we all agree on the path to salvation, maybe. That's the question. Do we? Because apparently we don't. Apparently we don't. I've been condemned quite a bit by Protestants since I have returned to the church. I didn't know any of that. I didn't understand how fierce that was until I went back to church. I didn't know how fierce that was. Never in my life. Especially because nobody talks about Protestants in Catholic churches. So I never put any really attention into that. But it is interesting to me because it fills in a lot of historical gaps. I'm never going to be too much of a holy roller where it's just going to be, hitting people over the head with theology and I don't have the capacity for it, I don't think. But I do have some questions I'd love to have answered, and I think that it also gives a pretty good context to, major historical events like schisms and reformations and all that. I like learning about that from a history standpoint. So, GDSOB, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Sharon, thank you so much. We're here for you, Frank. For your friends, you can share. Well, it's good to have the friendship of everybody out there. GDSOB. We got some classics in the chat room today. Hello, Moto from South Dakota. Good to have you. Okay, well, as you all know, I mean, I've got enough coffee for at least 2 or 3 of you. It's the Quite Frankly Elevation Blend, which goes perfectly with the Keto Brainz. I'm about to tap another bag over here. If you want to try this, get in touch with me. Frank at quitefrankly.tv. But otherwise, trust me when I say, you just go to the Keto Brainz link in the description, use the Frankly promo code for 20% off, and they're going to take care of you. Molly's fantastic. She takes care of people in this audience because she's in this audience. See? That's all you need to do. You walk around with Keto Brainz under your nose, people think you're partying. Oh, it tastes so good. I don't even need to put it in the coffee. So, who wants some iced? Does anybody want any iced? Wayne, do you want some iced coffee? Anybody? Who wants iced coffee? Can you do lines of Keto Brainz? I think you can. Molly said that, you know, that bumping Keto Brainz actually is good. It crosses the blood-brain barrier faster. I think that's what she said on her first appearance. If you take key bumps, the little key bumps of... If you see me start growing out my left pinky nail, you'll know something's up. Did you see Frank's left pinky? Yeah, just rub a little on your gums for a little boost. Start spazzing out. Frank's nail. Look, he's got the nail. He went old school with it. Imagine walking around with that long ass nail. You know, everybody must know. Can you do a show on feng shui? Feng shui? I mean, if you do have a guest, I would love to do that actually. Like what are the principles? Some really guiding principles on how to arrange a room. That would actually be interesting. If you have a feng shui guest suggestion, I'd take it. I'd never even consider that as being a really interesting guest. Frank, grow out your nail for the hell of it. Only people on this stream right now would get the reference if I did that. But I'm too much of a... I can't stand long nails. I can't stand long nails. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would not be able to do it. It would piss me off. A show on the best tips for a successful garage sale. Yes. I'm currently in the process of resetting my brain, and I think Keto Brainz will really help with it. I think I might give it an order because you make it sound like life-changing. Well, I mean, it's the biggest change you can make in your life is cleaning up your diet. That's it. I mean, you're not going to dump anything into your coffee and have other things. This stuff, if you are in a good metabolic zone, like if you are already in ketosis, if you're eating lean, if you're really on a low carb diet, if you are active every day, especially physically, and well hydrated, adding this on top of it, especially in a fasted state, because we're talking ketones on top of ketones. I mean, it's like adding some special sauce to the tank, no doubt about it. So if you're already on a journey where you're reassessing your overall day-to-day health and health maintenance and all that, and you want to get out of as far away from the healthcare system in the United States as possible, and you're taking that to the next step, oh hell yeah. Stuff like this is going to be, you're going to have stuff like this all up in your cupboards. No doubt. Yeah, I didn't make it through the night last night as far as fasting. I didn't make it through the night last night. It was around 12:30 or so. I just gotten out of the shower. I needed some water, but all the water in my Berkey was out, so I had to wait until that filtered down. And as I'm just sitting around, it's like 12:40 now. I'm like, my self-control is breaking. My self-control is breaking. What am I going to do? And I ended up having yogurt and slices of bacon that were out. I said, to hell with it. I'll be better tomorrow. I'll be a better person tomorrow. I don't even care. What would Jay Gounel say? I don't care. I'll text him in the morning. Say, I ate last night. I was going to say something terrible. I don't know why. It's not like I'm mad at him. It's not his problem. Frank looking like the manly gay man in Tel Aviv. Well, thank you. Thank you. I always wanted to be a manly gay guy from Tel Aviv. That's fantastic. Fantastic. All good stuff. All good stuff, though. I can't wait to put the tickets for sale for the event in September. I want to sell this thing out. 160 tickets. I want to sell this out so hard. So hard, man. I think Mel K is coming, and Mel K is going to be there, and Kathy O'Brien, I think. I'm working on Roseanne. Adel and people like Red Pill. Zach said he'd like to come. I think Brad is gonna be there, but I'm working on Timothy Gordon, and I told Jay, but there's so many more people that are coming that I don't want to get too ahead of myself, put the cart before the horse. But I want this to be a wonderful get together of people from the show. Be nice. And once we figure out this MH370 teleportation shit, then it doesn't matter how far you guys are. You can just teleport to whatever event we put on. Because after this one in September, I want to start working on a spring concert. And that is when, my band will play, Jay's band will play. Maybe I can get Tim Pool's band to play. Wouldn't that be nice? Get in touch with Tim Pools. Hey, your band want to play? Look up Preston Nichols. Preston Nichols from the Montauk Project. I've listened to all of Preston Nichols and Al Bielek. I've listened to a lot of their interviews over the years. Will the get-together be live streamed? I will probably go live from the event. Maybe I'll set up a camera that's tripoded that you can just get an establishing shot of the room. And whatever announcements are made, and whenever we do a panel, perhaps I can have something crude there. But there's too many new moving pieces right now where to have a really comprehensive broadcast plan, I would need a crew, because I wouldn't be able to do it. I need to circulate around the room and just, be there and all that. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff, but I'd love to have some kind of a live aspect to it. Red carpet interviews would be great. Well, that's why I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get stuff like that. That's what July and August are going to be all about for me. It's just going to be working on it. I would love to do an awards show. or give out some awards. That would be nice. Conspiracy theory trivia, like bring in some like bar activity type things. Um, but it'll be good. I'm excited about it. Let's see here. I was on a 3-week RV trip to Yellowstone. Let's see here. Hold on. In Zion. Awesome weather in Yellowstone, 105 in Bryce. Happy to be home in California with 74-degree temperatures. Montauk real name was Red Hawk, but Preston is a perfect example of what's happening now. Drama. What do you mean? In what way? What drama did I miss? Maybe we can find some, because I know that we have quite a few pilots that are in the audience. Maybe we can get some Quite Frankly pilots to go around the country and pick people up, like just carpooling people. You know, that would be cheap. Let's see. What did John Otter say? Everybody said great idea. What? Anyway, I missed it. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Mags needs to pick up. Who else needs a pickup? If I can get some pilots to pick people up, who needs a pickup? RJ Williams says, funny you say that about teleportation. I was just talking to my brother about doing it soon since you asked about it on the podcast interview. What, the teleported man trick? I told RJ it'd be awesome for him to be at the event. Now, obviously, he's on the West Coast. And I don't, we're on a limited, I want to get people like him out there. But I understand how much that would take just to come out. Can't just say, hey, you're comped for the event. I wish I can get him like a plane ticket or something. Come out for the weekend to just carouse and do if maybe you can teleport to Westchester, New York, RJ, so that you can do a 15-minute magic act on the stage there, and then just walk around for the rest of the night and do sleight of hand tricks, pickpocket people. I think that'd be great. What time is it? Oh, it's 12:15. Okay, I got to get back to. Well, I actually have to start work. It's Friday night. Should be fun, no matter what the hell we're doing. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, thank you for joining me for the coffee. This one has to get back into the refrigerator now and go and say hello to Molly. Say hello to Molly at Keto Brainz. Ask her any questions you have about how it can work into your daily regimen, and she'll tell you everything because she's like scientifically keyed in on that. What instruments do you play or do you sing? I'm a drummer. And you know what? I might even go live tonight on the drums. I might even go live on the drums tonight. I did a test stream from the drums last week on DLive. I was thinking of doing some stuff on YouTube, after hours stuff, just having maybe 4 or 5 songs just play. Who the hell knows? Maybe we'll do that until I get a better set. I need to upgrade the brain on my V drums, and I also have to swap out some trigger cones and a few other things because certain trigger pads are not triggering like they did 20 years ago. So anyway, okay, GD, have a good one. Be good. Thank you so much, and have fun in the summertime. Let's go. Thank you. Frank, why was this a gay porno? I don't know what the hell you mean, but get your head out of the gutter, Carbon. Odd choice of shirts, says Walking Stick. Another guy trying to dress me. Let's see here. Hopefully everyone has a peaceful day. Yes. Peace. And enjoy and be grateful for life. We'll talk more about this later on. I got to get the show together, and I'll see you at 7 o'clock. Have a good one. Be well. Take care.